Prince Harry is set to give evidence earlier than originally scheduled. The Duke of Sussex will now testify on Tuesday instead of later in the week. His defense team has launched a fierce attack on the case against him. They described the legal action brought by Associated Newspapers as threadbare. The explosive description came during opening arguments in the High Court. Barrister David Sherburne led the assault on the publisher's position. The case centers on allegations of unlawful information gathering. Harry claims the Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday used phone hacking. He also accuses them of blagging, private investigators and other illegal methods. The publisher strongly denies the allegations and calls them baseless. They argue that many of the claims are out of time under limitation rules. They insist no credible evidence supports the serious accusations made. Sherburne told the court the case presented by the defendants was weak. "It is threadbare, Your Honor, and lacks any real substance," he declared. He pointed to the absence of documentary proof backing their denials. The barrister highlighted inconsistencies in the newspaper group's statements. He suggested internal documents showed knowledge of questionable practices. Several receipts and emails were referenced during the opening submissions. Harry arrived at the Royal Courts of Justice shortly before 10 o'clock. He entered through a side door to avoid the waiting press pack. The prince appeared calm and focused as he walked into court. He sat in the public gallery alongside fellow claimants Elton John, Sadie Frost, Elizabeth Hurley and Baroness Doreen Lawrence were also present. The group watched intently as Sherburne outlined their joint case. The hearing is expected to last up to 9 weeks in total. It represents one of the most significant privacy battles in recent years. Harry has described the alleged intrusions as deeply distressing and paranoid-inducing. In written evidence, he spoke of constant fear of being watched. He claimed the press scrutiny damaged his mental health over many years. The Duke linked these experiences to his decision to step back from royal duties. Sherburne argued that the publisher had systematically breached privacy rights. He said unlawful methods were used to obtain private medical records. Bank details, travel information and voicemail messages were also targeted. The barrister presented examples from articles published between 2001 and 2013. He claimed many stories relied on information only obtainable illegally. These were not the result of legitimate journalism, he told the judge. The defense team for Associated Newspapers rejected the characterization. Their counsel described the claims as speculative and lacking foundation. They insisted that journalists acted within the law at all times. The publisher has previously settled similar cases with other celebrities. They paid substantial damages to Prince Harry in a different hacking claim. That earlier action involved Mirror Group newspapers and was successful. This new case is far broader and involves more claimants together. It seeks declarations that unlawful activity took place over many years. Compensation and injunctions against future breaches are also requested. Mr. Justice Nicklin is presiding over the complex and high-profile trial. He has already ruled that the case should proceed to a full hearing. He rejected the newspaper group's application to strike out the claims. Harry's lawyers welcomed the earlier testimony date as strategically helpful. It allows him to give evidence before other witnesses take the stand. They believe his testimony will set a strong tone for the entire trial. The Duke is expected to face rigorous cross-examination from the defense. Questions will likely probe his motives and the strength of his evidence. He has prepared meticulously with his legal team over recent months. Outside the court, a large media presence gathered from dawn. Cameras and reporters lined the pavement awaiting any sighting of Harry. Security was tight with police officers stationed at every entrance. Public interest in the case remains exceptionally high across Britain. It revives memories of the phone hacking scandal that shook Fleet Street. Many see it as a test of press freedom versus individual privacy rights. Harry has waged a long campaign against certain sections of the tabloid press. He blames intrusive journalism for much of the pain in his life. His memoir Spare detailed numerous examples of alleged unlawful behavior. The current trial is the third major legal action he has pursued. The first against Mirror Group ended in victory with significant damages. The second against News Group newspapers was settled out of court. Associated Newspapers has consistently denied wrongdoing in this matter. They argue that the allegations are historic and largely unprovable. They maintain that responsible journalism was practiced at all times. Sherburne countered that the evidence would show a different reality. He promised to present material that undermined the publisher's denials. Facts will emerge that cannot be ignored, he told the courtroom. The claimant's team has spent months compiling documents and witness statements. They have obtained material through disclosure from the defendant. Several former employees are expected to give evidence under subpoena. Harry's appearance in court is a rare event for a senior royal. It underscores how seriously he views these long-standing grievances. He has said publicly that he is fighting for others as well as himself. The trial will examine the culture inside the newsroom over decades. It will consider whether illegal methods were tolerated or encouraged. The outcome could have far-reaching implications for British journalism. As proceedings continue, the tension inside Court 76 remains palpable. Harry sits quietly taking notes during the detailed legal arguments. His focus is absolute as he prepares for his moment in the witness box. The earlier testimony date means less time for nerves to build. His legal team believes he is fully ready to face the challenge ahead. They are confident that his account will withstand scrutiny. The case has already generated intense media coverage worldwide. Every development is analyzed by commentators and legal experts alike. The public remains divided on the rights and wrongs of the dispute. Whatever the final verdict, the battle has exposed deep divisions. It highlights the ongoing clash between privacy and press freedom. Harry's determination to pursue justice shows no sign of wavering. Tuesday's testimony will mark a pivotal moment in the long-running saga. The world will watch closely as the Duke takes the oath and speaks. His words could shape the narrative for weeks to come. The defense branding the case, threadbare, sets the stage for confrontation. Harry's side sees it as a sign of weakness in the opposing argument. The coming days promise sharp exchanges and revealing evidence. This trial is about more than one man and one publisher. It tests the boundaries of acceptable journalistic practice in Britain. The outcome may influence how stories are gathered for years ahead. Prince Harry enters the witness box carrying the weight of expectation. He does so with the belief that truth will prevail in the end. The High Court will now hear his side of a very personal story. As proceedings unfold, the public will form its own conclusions. The earlier testimony date accelerates the drama inside the courtroom. All eyes remain fixed on the Duke of Sussex and his evidence.